Hey, what's up YouTube? Pallab here. We have the brand new Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 version. We already did an unboxing and had a first look at this device, so you can check that out in a separate video. This is the full review. We have the black sky model, and that's the MRP, but you'd get it for about 28,000, a few hundred here and there. Some of the quick specs over there. I'm not gonna go too deep into the unboxing process here because we've already done this. I'll just show you for the full video's sake what are the things inside the box. That's the phone, and those are the quick start guides and warranty cards and safety guide and whatnot. It supports USB-C type port, so this is the USB-C type cable, but there is also an adapter from micro USB to USB-C type. You have a 2 ampere fast charging adapter here, and then the quite premium looking earphones with volume rocker and a mic. So that's about the content of the box really. So that's the Galaxy A5 2017 version. It's a sexy looking phone. Glass both on the back as well as on the front, and then the metal rim on the side gives the whole phone very premium look, and particularly this black color. It looks gorgeous mainly because it's all black. There is no other color, so it kind of looks very classy to say the least. Also, this curved back gives that phone all the more premium look. I love the design. About 165 grams, I think, somewhere around that. So it's certainly not the thinnest nor the lightest phone in the market, but fits nicely into hand. You have that 5.2-inch Full HD Super AMOLED screen, which is gorgeous screen, but a fingerprint magnet. In fact, both front and the back will get fingerprint. Plus, actually, the back might get a few scratches here and there as well, but nothing too alarming. Very small scratches. And then 16 MP front camera without a flash, though I would have liked the flash here, and the typical Samsung buttons. Your volume rocker here, and then one single SIM slot over here, nano SIM there, and then you'll get another slot over here which will have another SIM plus your micro SD card that will support an additional 256 GB over the 32 GB that's already available for this phone. So you get dedicated slots for micro SD. That's great. You don't get that often now. USB-C type port, 3.5mm jack, a noise cancelling mic, a power button here, and a speaker over here. This design mostly came with the Galaxy On Next, and I loved it instantly then. Another noise cancelling mic over here. On the back you have a 16 MP camera, and what's the good thing about this camera is that it's not bumpy. It sits right into the box, or into the body rather, and it you won't hurt the lens much if you keep it on a flat surface. And then you have the LED flash there. Overall, the phone looks beautiful, gorgeous, feels great, and looks very premium. So that's the 5.2-inch Full HD Super AMOLED screen display. It has a great viewing angle. It's very bright and crisp. In fact, I can show you my color card, and it clearly distinguishes the red palettes here and even the blue palette. So it's got great color recognition. For example, it can differentiate between very close palette as well. And then the viewing angle is also great, being a Super AMOLED screen. So very bright and crisp screen. Plus, Samsung has its new Grace UI, which is very light on the RAM, on the chipset, on the CPU in general, and they do not have many bloatware. I have installed some of those apps, like all the way from here. You'd get this page where you'd get Samsung's in-house app, and then the Google normal apps. You have Microsoft apps. Samsung Pay is a new thing. You can also go to Samsung Pay just by dragging it up, and you get that Samsung Pay. We'll probably make another video demonstrating Samsung Pay sometimes if I'm in mood. But overall, the UI feels very snappy with that 64-bit octa-core chipset and 3 GB of RAM. We'll check out the settings very quickly. About device, software info, you'll see that this guy comes with Android 6.0, so certainly not the latest. And what else? Here you can go device maintenance, and in storage, out of 32 GB, 18.9 GB is used. Available space is 13.1 GB, but we have a lot of things over here. You'd get roughly about 22 to 23 GB available out of 32 GB. So when I cleaned it up, you get about 1.4 GB of available space. That is RAM out of about 2.8 GB, because 3 GB is the RAM, you get usable 2.8 GB. So that's really good RAM management, and Samsung has come a long way in that RAM management thing. Otherwise it would always been like, you know, less than 500 or less than 700 MB available out of 3 GB. So this Grace UI is really light that way. Let's check out the camera over here. 16 MP front camera, very snappy. You can see you can quickly start your video from there. Another good thing is that you can have a floating shutter button that I really love, and this is especially useful in case of the 16 MP front camera, which is very bright and shows a lot of textures, you can see. So, you know, in whatever angle you hold the phone, this shutter button actually helps you reach and press the shutter anywhere you want. Yeah, if you find it too difficult to press here. So that's a really good thing that I absolutely love it. I always have that on actually. And you have those flash, and then some of the settings. No 4K video here. One of the biggest omission from this camera is that both front and the back, do not have optical image stabilization, and that shows. We'll come back to that in just a bit. Those are some of the filters, and then those are some of the shooting modes. Another thing that you would not get here is a selective focus feature. That's only reserved for the flagships, the Galaxy S's and the Galaxy Notes, but you get the rich tone though. So talking about the image and video quality, they are extremely good. They show, you know, whenever they are sharp, they show great amount of detail under enough light. The colors are very natural, perfect. They are not, Samsung no longer oversaturate the colors. That's a really great thing. And to upload to social media, they are perfect. You do not even need to edit them, both with the front and with the back cameras. Under low light also, they are able to check the noise after very respectable ISO amount. Even the videos are very sharp. The biggest feature missing from the rear camera at least is the optical image stabilization, or any form of stabilization, due to which you really need to be still while clicking the photo. Even if you shake your hands just a tad bit, your photos will come blur, and that's true for both the rear as well as for the front camera. You will learn there are ways to make yourself still. Just pause for a second before taking the photo and it will come sharp enough. However, that feature probably was necessary at this price range. A lot of phones at this price range will come with optical image stabilization.
I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in.
So sound output via speaker is good. I like the bass, I like the treble. Also the treble is slightly on the higher side. It's not loud for outdoor, but the sound is checked, the sound quality is checked to a proper level, and even at the highest volume it does not crackle at all. The surround sound is good. And because Super AMOLED, the viewing angles are so good that more than one person can watch this movie at the same time from different angles. The vocals are nice as well, not digitally enhanced. They sound natural. The 3D sound is good. And one good thing about the speaker being here is that you do not accidentally block it. So yeah, good sound output, although not loud enough exactly. Now, one of the highlight of this device is the battery life, the incredible battery life. You can see Our PC Mark battery life score is 9 hours 26 minutes. That's incredible. That will take you about 2 days on a single charge, 2 business days. We have 16 hours and so, but those phones are mainly because of battery. This is great, keeping the phone at a manageable weight and manageable thickness. I love the battery life, so that's definitely one of the USP of this device. We did some benchmark testing and we also played some game. There was no problem on the benchmark testing. It consistently scored about the average, or in some cases just below average, but gameplay there is absolutely no problem at all. We also did a sensor test and you get almost all the sensor you would need on this device: magnetic field, orientation, gyroscope, proximity sensor, gravity sensor. So your VR, etc., all will be supported. So then guys, the biggest advantage of this device, the pros of this device, are the look and the build quality is superb. The 16MP front camera, although not flash, but the resolution is good enough to shoot some very good selfie even under low light. And the battery life and how snappy the UI overall is. So camera, design, UI, and the battery life. What could have been better is that I probably would have liked a flash here. Now many of the devices come with a flash. The optical image stabilization has to be one of my biggest disappointment, at least for the rear camera here. And then the audio output is probably not that loud, although it's good enough quality. So that's about it. But if I have to pick one, I'll pick the optical image stabilization. At least some sort of stabilization should have been given with this. But apart from this, this is a very, very solid device, one of the best devices at this price point. And it looks alone can take most of the marks actually. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to this, and we'll try to answer them all. And please subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so that you know whenever we publish our next video. Thank you.